My name is Andra Georgescu, and I'm the Chief Operational Officer at Hey Be Well, the Wellbeing Ecosystem. I think this talk will be the humanist dimension of this blockchain-oriented event. So what is well-being? We define well-being as healthcare plus wellness. But why not just healthcare, though? Because human beings are not that simple. Healthcare approaches the well-being of humans from a strictly biological perspective. But I believe we should reach towards our optimal performance levels and embrace our true potential and go beyond our biological needs. But usually an example is worth more than a description. So I'm going to share with you a personal story that brought me here today talking about well-being and its holistic nature. So imagine that between the ages of 13 and 16, I had to wear this, a corset made out of hard, rigid plastic, 23 hours a day, every day. This is, by definition, a healthcare issue. But it affected me physically, socially, emotionally, occupationally, and even spiritually. And these are the 6 dimensions of well-being, and I will address each one of them in more detail. So the physical dimension is the ability to maintain a healthy, fit body that allows us to get through our daily activities without fatigue or physical stress. Well, fitness, dieting, and a good sleeping pattern usually has us covered. If not, healthcare can come to the rescue. The next dimension is the psychological dimension, the ability to learn and accept new ideas and experiences and change previously accepted belief systems accordingly. This is a very important dimension because it helps us take a proactive approach to our lives and change what needs to be changed in order for us to feel more content with our decisions. The social dimension is the ability to relate to other people and genuinely connect with each other. We are social creatures at our very core, and the ability to establish and maintain positive relationships with family, friends, and co-workers is fundamental to our well-being, as can be seen from the radical impact that isolation can have on our health. The next dimension is the emotional dimension, which I'm manifesting a lot now, is the ability to understand and truly know ourselves and process our emotions. Emotional balance helps us cope with the challenges that life brings in a constructive way and avoid destructive means of dealing with our problems, such as addiction, violence, or self-harm. The occupational dimension is the ability to get personal fulfillment from our work. Our desire to build a career and to make a positive impact to organizations and to work that we work in and to society as a whole leads to our occupational well-being. The last but not least is the spiritual dimension. It's the ability to establish a peaceful harmony in our lives and connect to divinity, whatever that may mean to each one of us. Aligning our values with our actions makes us morally and spiritually in sync with our goals and journey towards reaching those goals. So a balance between these 6 dimensions makes us healthier and happier than performance in only one, because the whole is stronger and better than the sum of its parts. This is a lesson I had a hard time learning, because before my 17th birthday, when doctors said I could finally take that corset off, I felt for the first time like I was released from a plastic cage, but also frustrated because I felt I was starting this race in life with a handicap. You can imagine that living most of my teenage years with that on 23 hours a day, every day, didn't do wonders for my social life, didn't do wonders for my self-esteem, and I had a really hard time processing my emotions. I was pretty much an angry teen. So I started applying this discipline of performance to each one of these dimensions, and I started getting really fit. and going to the gym and eating right and getting sleep, and I felt at peak performance with my body. I was happy. And then I started getting really involved with my social life, and I had more friends than ever before, and a serious relationship, and that made me feel really, really fulfilled, basically. And then I went to therapy and built up my self-esteem, got to know myself. And I applied this discipline to each one, but I didn't feel, as a whole, balanced. And the whole part is very important because when we see things holistically and we realize we need to balance them, and the fact that we as a whole work better than if we perform in just one aspect. So, this metaphor is meant to show you that just because your blood test came out just fine doesn't mean you're healthy. It means you're physically healthy. It's almost as if you have a piece of hardware that works perfectly fine, but you have no idea how your software performs because you never really paid that much attention to it. I'm not saying healthcare is bad. This is not the point of my talk. Advancements in this field has gifted humanity the quality of life it now enjoys. But I'm here to plead for a perspective shift and to redefine the concept of health as meaning more than healthcare. Imagine looking at a square and seeing this geometrical form, and then taking 2 steps to the left and realizing it was actually a cube and far more complex than you would have initially thought. So shifting perspective is important, and we need to start shifting perspective with the help of technology. Technology can empower well-being specialists and providers and facilitate their direct collaboration with healthcare experts. Okay. So how does well-being align with blockchain technology? Blockchain technology is disruptive and incredibly powerful in breaking monopolies, not by fighting the status quo, but by creating better alternatives. But why do we need to break monopolies in the first place? Well, history showed us that whenever an organization gains more than 50% dominance in a system, be it a marketplace, country, or even a religion, it has the tendency to embrace, extend, and extinguish. And that's bad because it stifles innovation, it slows down progress, inhibits creativity, and by discouraging competition, it denies freedom of choice. And I think we can all agree this is not how we want our future to look like. So blockchain comes to the rescue. This technology that allows us to build platforms bringing all these key players together and connect them without the need of a cumbersome middleman, not even the platform itself, is revolutionary. We can also store sensitive data in a secure, accessible, and shareable manner. The secure part is very important when we address the fact that health data requires privacy. We can also create microeconomies that incentivize small businesses that want to make a difference. In decentralization, when it comes to a marketplace, can level the field between David and Goliath. We can actually make things fairer, and we can give people an alternative and an exit sign from a system that doesn't benefit them. So the future indeed looks bright. Projects like Patientory, Ambrosis, Litra, Eat Heal, and even our own ambitious project, Hey Be Well, show that leveraging the power of technology can build ecosystems balanced and aimed at creating an alternative to what we now experience today. Thank you so much for your time and for being patient with me in my emotional dimension, and be well. Thank you.